Builders.
I miss you too, man.
Never mind. Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. Guys, the time has come. It is time to do our spoiler-filled review for The Walking Dead final season / season 11, episode 1, Acheron Part 1 review.
We gotta get through this together. I don't leave anybody behind.
This is a path you don't want to go down.
The only way this works is if we trust each other.
Alright guys, The Walking Dead is back. Season 11, episode 1, Acheron Part 1. So, The Walking Dead final season, the beginning of the end, has officially begun. So, we are here to give our thoughts and do our full spoiler-filled review for The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 1, Acheron Part 1, Season 11 premiere, final season. So, I can't believe it, guys. The time has come. It feels weird, don't it, too, like this time of year, to be sitting down and talking about The Walking Dead. You know, it's like actually nice weather out. It's like summertime, and we're talking about Walking Dead. Usually I'm sitting here and I'm looking out the window and I see like different leaves, colors and stuff, you know, and it's fall time. No, right now it's just a nice summer day and I'm sitting here reviewing Walking Dead. Nice combo, though. I gotta be honest. It's pretty cool. So, anyway, let's just talk about it, guys, because this is going to be a long review, I guarantee it. So, The Walking Dead Season 11 premiere, it frickin' delivered. That is the one thing I'm going to say right off the bat. It frickin' delivered. So, alright, spoiler warning, if you have not seen this episode yet, we're going to jump into it right now. So, let's just basically talk about it. So, the episode begins, and we have Daryl, and we have our survivors that are going through this kind of like base, as they're trying to kill a bunch of the dead, and they're basically trying to get food for the community. And right off the bat, I was like, holy frig, this is awesome. You've got the scene in the, the teaser where they pull Carol up the rope and stuff like that. You got everybody that's, kind of watching over them. Like, you got like Daryl, Maggie, and some others that are kind of making sure that they get out okay. And some great walker kills kind of throughout. Really love the location, too. I think it's really cool. We see Rosita, we see Lydia, we see Carol. Like I said, she gets, saved by Daryl and stuff. And we just see, like, this, huge amount of the dead inside this place. But really, really cool way to start off the episode. Really cool. Kind of almost through Daryl's perspective, too, because we start off with the wings. As you kind of see him save Carol and you see, everything else going on. And I just thought it made for a really, really cool start to the episode. So, we get the intro. The logo is a little different for this season. That is one thing I've kind of noticed, is that the logo, it's like dripping a little bit. We got a little bit more decay and like post-apocalyptic stuff, kind of on it, but there's still the blood on the logo. So, that's pretty cool as well, too. And then basically after that, so we get to see Alexandria. We get to see our characters. We get to actually meet a few more of Maggie's people, which, we get to see a few more. We get to see this one dude, this really, like, tough-looking dude, just, like, beta size, pretty much. And, you kind of get the introduction of this dude, and, you see little Herschel go up to him, and you think he's just, like, this mean dude, and he's like, good to see you, little Herschel, and he's like, he puts him over him, and he's like, I missed you, buddy, and it's just like, because, they kind of throw you through a loop. It's like, this big angry dude, oh, great, what the frig, he's probably gonna raise some hell, isn't he? And then he's like, oh, little Herschel, so, I like that. I thought that was really cool. But basically, we get to see that as we find out, obviously, that Alexandria is very low on food, and that is, the one thing that they kind of, go over in this one, to kind of discuss, is that, they're low on food and stuff, and it's definitely going to be a struggle. But obviously, with the Reapers involved, that kind of really throws a curveball in this season. But I will kind of take a second to definitely say, we don't see anything to do with the Reapers in this episode, but at the same time, it's going to be a big plot this season, absolutely, and we know we're going to see a lot of it. So, because, this episode didn't exactly, go over that, that's fine, because honestly, I think going over a lot of the other stuff with our group and kind of where they're at, still made for a very good premiere. But basically, okay, so let's talk about the big location that the group goes to in this one. They basically go to a subway tunnel, and we get to see a lot of this. We saw some of this in the sneak peeks. They're kind of running through. it's raining out, so they kind of decide to, pack it in, basically, and we get to see them go inside, and basically Negan is kind of, you could say paranoid, as Gabriel kind of says, but Negan is just, very on edge, and basically he says, like, you know what that is? That's God telling us to turn around, and Gabriel's like, I'm pretty sure he would have ran that through me first, but basically, it's a real creepy location, and, it's kind of our main location for this double premiere, and, I say double premiere, but for the first 2 episodes, this train station is kind of the main, kind of location for the beginning of the season. So they use it, definitely to, they put it to use for sure for these 2 episodes, at least for this one. And from what I can tell from episode 2, they're going to continue to use this location quite a bit. But I do like it. Visually, it's very creepy, as they're kind of walking through. And it's really, really cool. It's a really, really intense episode all the way through. But basically, let's talk about Daryl and Negan for a second, because, Daryl doesn't really, he's kind of like, hey, do you think we're buddies or something? He's very just not, he doesn't really want to hear it from Negan, I guess is really what I'm saying here. And it's, it's definitely very frustrating for sure, because in season 10, you kind of get the vibe that Daryl and Negan, they're kind of just, they're just all right with each other. Now in this one, it's like ever since Queen Maggie's back, Daryl just hates him again. So I don't know. That's a little annoying. I'm going to be honest. That's very, very frustrating. But let's talk about something that's not frustrating. And let's talk about something that I was definitely very, very happy to see. Negan sticks up for himself in this episode. He does. He stands up for himself. And basically he, says, he's like, man, Maggie, like, you're leading this group, but you're too preoccupied on me, and that's what he basically calls her out in front of the entire group. Also, as he saved Gage's life, might I add. And Gage actually takes Negan's side on this one, which I thought was pretty interesting. But basically, he kind of calls Maggie out, and he's just like, you're too fixated on me. Why are you in charge? Like, honestly. And that's the number one thing. Like, Maggie just came back, and she's in charge. And, obviously, they all decided on it, as Maggie says, but it's really, really frustrating, because Negan, did all this stuff last season, and now he's just looked at the piece of crap that didn't matter. I'm like, man, y'all be still fighting the Whispers if it wasn't for this guy. Like, honestly, it just drives me crazy. But essentially, Negan is, a very good character in this one, calling out Maggie, completely just, asking, like, why is she, running the show here? Why is this, so important? But basically, okay, now, Negan brings up Glenn, and when that happens, it's just like, oh, frig, and the Glenn reference, really crazy. I actually like how they kind of threw that in, we're into the final season now, so they're definitely going to start referencing some stuff, so I like that they're kind of getting the ball rolling on that, but Daryl basically pushes him down to the ground. Maggie takes the gun. She's like, as far as killing you, I'm not the same girl I was 6 years ago, and she's just pointing the gun, and she's like, keep pushing me, Negan, please, and Negan is just, kind of standing there and stuff, and it's just like, man, like, honestly, if you're gonna do it, then why aren't you doing it? Like, honestly, and that's what Negan always said, and he even said it right before Maggie took him down, too. He's just like, you're just, you're waiting for an opportunity to just kill me, leave me out here in the jungle, and that is basically what he says, and, I agree, Negan, absolutely, I don't see how you couldn't agree with him. It's so freaking true. I'm sorry. All the points he makes are valid as hell. And it's really, really frustrating that they're all just like, oh, Queen Maggie's back. Oh, by the way, Negan, yeah, I liked you before. I hate you now. Yeah, I just hate you, I don't get it, man. I really, really don't. So, anyway, we get them. They're going in. We got all that stuff. And basically, okay, now, all right. We get to see in this one, which I thought was very, very interesting, but definitely, it kind of throws you off as well too. Is that we got a lot of the walkers here, and obviously they're starting to clear it, and you kind of got all hell that breaks loose, and basically some of our characters have to kind of climb up this thing, and basically I'm just gonna kind of talk about this because this is a huge moment in this episode. Is Negan gets the chance after everything. He actually gets a chance to leave Maggie for dead. And this is the cliffhanger that we've been, kind of hearing about in this episode. Maggie is actually left for dead by Negan. They all climb up this thing. The walkers are kind of coming at them. And you think that Negan is about to save Maggie's life. And then Negan just kind of pauses for a second. And this is what I'm kind of imagining is going through his head. He's probably like, well, she's going to probably kill me, And ever since she is back in the picture, I've looked like this moron again. So there's kind of this selfishness. And this is what I said in the non-spoiler review for this episode, is that there is this selfishness that kicks in with Negan to where it's to a point where he's actually sitting there like, you know what? screw it. Screw it. I'm just going to let this happen. And it's crazy. It's out of nowhere. But do I blame him for it? Call me crazy. And I know I'm about to get hate for this because I'm about to say I don't disagree with what Negan did. I kind of understand it to an extent. He's made out to look like the piece of crap again. Again, after doing everything he did in season 10. And he has a golden opportunity. I'm not saying what he did was right, but I will say I understand what he's doing. It makes sense. It's definitely, you can see why he's doing what he's doing. And that is enough said, if you ask me. But that's the cliffhanger they leave you off on this episode. And it is just, it's crazy. So let's recap here, okay? We get Negan and Maggie drama. We get Daryl as well. We get a really cool subway location. We get a lot of cool walker kills. And in particular, we get a crazy, crazy ending where Maggie is potentially left for dead, killed. Now, I want to take a pause for this because obviously this is the one flaw I do have with the episode. And you know what? It's not a flaw with the episode. It's a flaw with the marketing for this season. I would have honestly been very scared and I would have been on the edge of my seat if I didn't see clips of Maggie later on in the season. And that's the main problem. They show a bunch of clips of her later on in the season to where it proves my very point that Maggie is very much alive. So, you know, there's no tension there because you know she survives. And that's the unfortunate thing. But either way, I think that the entire stuff with our main group in this one, and with Maggie and Negan especially, absolutely just flawless. Honestly, I have no problems with this. It's awesome. It's entertaining. It's freaking just... It's unexpected at times, too. You know, I didn't expect Walking Dead to do a kind of like a fake out with Maggie like that either. So they're definitely, they've got guts. You know, they definitely got guts, and I definitely like it. So, yeah, very, very good stuff there. Now, let's switch over to the other storyline in this episode, which is the Commonwealth. Now, all right, we get introduced to, obviously, Mercer, as, you know, Eugene and them are being taken into this, you know, kind of location where they're being, you know, asked all these questions and stuff. Now, like I said in the non-spoiler, I did kind of expect to see a little bit more, and what I mean more, I do mean Mercer a little bit. I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more of him. We just kind of got a few words, and that was kind of it, but... Either way, I do really like the scenes when you've got, you know, basically the interviews, and they're asking them, like, all these weird questions, like, what they wipe their ass with and stuff. I'm just like, okay, what? Take a pause here for a second. So, they're asking them what they wipe their ass with. They're asking, you know, the dates of this and that and the other thing. And I love how, you know, they asked if they've ever been arrested and stuff like that. But I love how you've got Eugene, right? They've got, like, the date of, like, okay, this date to this date. And Yumiko and Ezekiel and Princess are like, I don't really remember. Eugene's like, well, this date to this date. And then it expired on this date. And then I got it renewed on this date, this date. You know, Eugene just always knows. You know, like, Yumiko's like, how would I remember that from all these years ago? And Eugene's like, yeah, it's this, and this. You know, he's got all the answers in the world, and I just freaking love it. So, really cool. Eugene answers the questions pretty easily. And you've got other characters like Ezekiel that's kind of holding back. You've got Yumiko, who's decently answering them, and Princess, who's like barely answering anything. But basically, Ezekiel calls out Mercer in this one, kind of calls him out and says, like, dude, you're just standing there. Like, you know, like, are you trying to scare me? You know, because I'm not scared. And I really like it. I actually like the banter between Ezekiel and Mercer. But obviously, the characters kind of ask as well, too. You know, do we get to see, Mercer, and, do we get to see enough of him? And I would say Mercer is decently used in this one. It's not crazy, but we get the point. He's introduced enough to where we do get to see him. I do think we should have gotten a bit more, but it's just the premiere, so I'm not going to flaw too much because I feel like we have yet to see more. But, Michael James Shaw, I want to take a second here to appreciate him. What a phenomenal actor. I mean, honestly, I can't wait to see what he does next because, honestly, in this one, even just right out of the gate, he's really, really great. So, I definitely appreciate him. And here is the comic version of Mercer. Let me grab this real quick. That's Mercer in the Walking Dead comics. So, I mean, they nailed it. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. They nailed this look from the comics, and I think it's incredible. So, absolutely, Michael James Shaw, I cannot wait to see what he does with the role of Mercer, but we can now say he has officially been introduced. And unlike the comics, introduced actually before Pamela and Sebastian and Lance and all this kind of stuff. So definitely, a little bit of a remix from the comics, but I'm very much enjoying it so far, and I think it's really, really cool, and I'm excited to see what Michael does with the character of Mercer for sure. So, That is really, really cool. Now, okay, now basically the episode, we don't really get too much else aside from this one moment where basically we've got them, they're kind of, trying to get out, and you basically see them, they have an option to leave because the guards are not going to be there or some crap, and, basically they go through, and you've got, which I didn't think they were going to bring this in this early. This is the one thing I actually have to give the Commonwealth storyline in this episode. We actually saw Yumiko's lost brother, being set up in this one on the wall of the Lost. As you see them, they're about to escape. They're just about to get out. And Yumiko sees that, and she says, I gotta stay, And it's kind of a moment with the characters where it's like, damn it, we were about to get out, and now, frig, damn it, So that's kind of what that is. And I gotta say, it's a really, really crazy scene, and definitely, I'm excited to see what they do with the Michonne storyline for Yumiko in this. I think it's gonna be really, really interesting for sure. So, but yeah, and that's what we get at the Commonwealth in this one. A little bit of Mercer, the interviews, which were freaking hilarious, and we get the lost brother thing. So, pretty decent, right? We start off with some, decent stuff with them. I'm excited to see where it goes, though, for sure. And like I said with our main group, to kind of recap, no, Maggie's not dead. No, Negan is, she's going to be alive. We know she is, but definitely as a, kind of a plot in this one, Negan especially, and just everything they did. Great Walker kills in this one, great character moments, great lines. Negan was great. Even Maggie was really good. I just think overall, as an episode, I'm going to honestly give this a 10. Yes, I know that, we could have used more. Definitely, we could have used more, but it's pretty darn great, honestly, on its own, and it really just sets up everything it needs to set up. Until I see otherwise, and maybe the Commonwealth gets severely delayed, or we don't see this, we don't see that, I am very, very impressed with this episode. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think this is a really, really cool premiere, and it's, for me, easily beating out the Season 10 premiere of The Walking Dead. Easily, I would say. So, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of Acheron Part 1. Let me know in the comments. What are y'all, thoughts on this episode? What do you like? What do you don't like? For me, this is a straight up 10 out of 10. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say this, this was a great episode of The Walking Dead. It absolutely was. I think it was really well done, and I think overall, it's a great, great kickoff for the season. Absolutely. So, anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this episode, Acheron Part 1. Let me know and write your comments in the comment section below. And, of course, guys, if you're new here, click the subscribe button so don't miss my Walking Dead videos. Follow me on Walking Dead videos, subscribe, guys, and, of course, I will see you guys really soon and next week for The Walking Dead reviews that are now back. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?